What's going on? I hope everybody's doing well. So today's episode, I'll be sharing with you guys a quick drill to really improve your Romanian deadlift technique. Now this could apply to you, it could apply to your clients, your friends, so on and so forth. But the Romanian deadlift is a great posterior chain exercise, especially if you do it with a snatch grip. It's definitely one of my favorite for really training the hamstrings and the whole posterior chain. But the problem that certain people run into, especially if they're novices or if they don't have an athletic background, is that they don't understand certain cues. And as a coach, you always want to have as many tools in your toolbox as possible. And sometimes it's not enough to just tell a client, push the hips back or hip extension or load the hamstrings. Some clients need drills to really feel the movement pattern down, and it's not enough to just tell them what to do. So that's where the drills come in handy, and that's what today's episode is all about. So let's get into it. All right, so now I'll be showing you guys the Romanian deadlift, aka the RDL. This is the technique in case you don't already know. So you could pull it off the rack, pull it off the floor to get in the starting position. And I just want to think about pushing the hips back. So I like to imagine that there's a cup of water on the table in back of me, and I want my glutes to spill the cup of water. So that's my ideology of the lift. You could also just think about stretching the hamstrings, minimal knee bend, hip extension. There's a million ways you can really think about this lift, but overall it's really the same thing. You're just loading the posterior chain with minimal knee bend. Now, when you try to teach it to certain people, they may not understand that, so they might end up looking like this, which actually doesn't look that bad, but it's still not the ideal technique that we're looking for. You want to push the hips back a lot more. So this is why I'm going to show you guys the drills in a moment where it's going to help you a lot. So all you're gonna do is take a band. It could be a thick band, medium band, whatever the case is, and you're gonna loop it around the hip. Now you could do this for yourself or your client, and what you're gonna notice is that the band is gonna be pulling your hips back for you. So if you have trouble doing this, you don't have to worry. The band is gonna do it for you, and it's gonna teach you that movement pattern. On top of that, once you get the squeeze in the glutes, you're really gonna feel the glutes turn on a lot more. So it's a great tool, the bands, to really help you get into that movement pattern that you're really looking for, which is the RDL. So as you can see, I'm loading it. Another drill you could use is the band pull through. This could also be done with the cable, but since we're already at the band, just use the band again. So you're gonna get in a wider stance, slightly wider than regular, and you're just gonna get that aggressive glute squeeze. So it's very similar to the other one. This is a bit more of the second step. So once you're able to get the band around the hip, then you can start having the band with the hands. You just hold the band, try not to bend your arms or anything, just squeeze the glutes. Now here's another tip I'll throw in too, to really help you feel your hamstrings a lot more, because a lot of people tend to be way off center. They tend to have way too much of the weight on their toes. So you could do this quick drill before. It's like a glute activation that also helps you apply more force with the heels, because it forces you to be on the heels when you're doing this drill. So it's kind of like a hip thrust hybrid with the heels on the bench. So you could do these with one leg, you could do these with two legs. I'd start off with two legs first, but it's a great drill to really teach you how to push into the ground and apply force through the heels, which is what we're looking for too. We don't want to be too far forward. We don't want to be far forward at all. We want most of the weight to be on the heels more or less. So you could do these for 30 seconds to a minute, really start feeling the glutes. It's a great activation. All right, so there you guys have it. Hope you learned something. I know I only said one drill and I ended up giving a lot more in the video, but I hope you really learned something. So you got a couple activation drills in there. You got some other drills that you could do before the workout, between sets, whatever the case is. You could even do some of this stuff on off days, but this should really help you nail down that Romanian deadlift technique, and it'll help you with all deadlifts in general. And I've had great success with this with a lot of my clients, and they're really loving it. They're really reaping all the benefits of the Romanian deadlift. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you learn anything? Do you know anybody who could potentially benefit from this video? Please share this with them and subscribe to the channel. So see you guys in the next video.